Hello 3E, we're going to go through the first 3 pages of your note together here, and then we'll watch a different video for the next couple examples after that. So this question wants us to show in a couple different ways how we can make the following amounts. So the first amount we're given is $2.50. So we're just going to kind of drag and drop the different coins here that will make that. And there's going to be many different answers that we could make, but we're just going to show 2 of them. So the first one I think of is using a toonie for my $2, and then 2, oops, sorry about that. All right, so now we've got our 2 quarters there. And now for a second way, we might want to use 2 loonies. And maybe for this one, to make up the 50 cents, we'll use some dimes. So we'll use 5 dimes. Sorry, mine don't seem to be dragging and dropping very well. Hopefully yours go a bit better. There we go. So we've got our 5 dimes there. So that's another way we could make 250. You'll notice the way on the left, the first way that we did, you're using a lot less coins. So if I were to go somewhere and get change back that was $2.50, I would definitely prefer the first way because it's going to be a little bit less to put in my wallet and carry around with me. Okay, so now we'll move on to our second example here for $4.75. So for the $4, I'm going to want to drag over 2 of my toonies. And then for 75 cents, I would think the quickest, kind of easiest way is to use 3/4. So I'm going to use 3/4 here, if I can get them. And now a second way that I might do is maybe use 1 toonie. So we're at $2, that makes $3, and then we'll use 2 loonies, so that's 4. And to make 75 cents, maybe I'll just use 1/4 this time, so that's 25 cents, and then I'll use some dimes. So that would be counting by 10 after that. So we're at 25 cents there. Now that's 35, 45, 55, 65, sorry, and 75 cents. So again, 2 different ways. The one on the left uses a lot less coins, which is a lot more convenient, and then the second way uses some more coins, but they both are going to be the same amount, the same value of $4.75. Okay, so moving on to our third example here, we've got a larger number. So that's $7.80. So there's a couple different ways. One way, actually, I didn't put any bills here, but we could, I'm just going to draw one, use a $5 bill. And then you use a toonie. So now we're at $7. I'll maybe move this up here to give me more room. And then to make the 80, maybe we'll want to use 75 cents using quarters, and then just 5 more to make it 80. So there we've got 1 bill and 5 coins. And then on the second way, let's not use a bill. So we want to make that $7 just using coins. So we can have 2, 4, 6, there's $7. And now we just need to make the 80 cents. So to do it kind of a little bit in a different way, maybe we'll just use 2/4 to make our 50 cents. And then we'll add in 3 dimes to give us that total of 80. Okay, let me just scroll down here to our last example. So we've got $3.95. So again, I'll use a simple way at first. There's our $3. And now to make 95 cents, so a little under $1, but we can't quite use $1. So we're gonna have to use quite a bit of coins to make up that 95 cents. So I'll have use 3/4 to get me to 75 cents. And now I can use some dimes to get up to 90. So again, I'll be counting by tens from there on. So we're at the 75 cents. So now that makes 85 cents. And if I can get this, that makes 95 cents. And in a different way, maybe we won't use a toonie this time. We'll use 3 loonies. And then again, we'll go with 3/4. And now a different way, instead of using 2 dimes, maybe we'll just use 1 dime. So that gives us to 85 cents. And then maybe we'll use a nickel, which will get us to 90 cents, and another nickel to get us to 95 cents. So again, both ways show us 3.95. Moving on to the next example here. Let me move slide. Okay, so now in this example, we're going to try to make change using the fewest amount of coins. So we don't, for example, if we were to do 50 cents, we know that we could do 10 dimes, and that would be 50 cents, but that uses up 5 coins, and we'd rather use less than that. So instead, we would do something like 2/4, and now we've only got 2 coins in our hand, but it still is 50 cents. So generally, people like to receive back change using the least amount of coins possible. So we're going to get into the habit of doing that. So these next 2 questions will do that. So let's imagine you buy a hockey stick for $83.62 and you give the cashier $90. So what change would you get back using the fewest number of bills or coins possible? So our first step, because we know here in Canada we don't use pennies, so the fact that it comes to 83.62, we're going to need to round to the nearest nickel. So we'll change this value here to the nearest nickel. So that would be 83.60. And then we want to write down, if we're kind of counting up, we're using the strategy from last lesson. We know that we're starting with 83.60 and trying to figure out how much change or what change would we need to get to that 90. That's what we gave the cashier. So I'm going to just kind of start counting and pulling different coins as I do. So right away I notice I'm at 60. So a convenient amount to get to is 75, because then I know I can just use 1 more quarter and get me to an even dollar there. So to get to 75 from 60, I would need to add a dime. So now that brings me to 70, and a nickel. So now I'm at 75. So now I'm at 83.75. So I know if I add a quarter, I'm now going to be at $84. And I know that I need to get to $90. So $84. Another convenient amount is if we can get to a 5 at the end of our number. So if I'm at 84, now if I put a dollar down there, I'm at $85. So to get from $85 to 90, the most convenient thing to do would be use a $5 bill. You may have thought, oh, I'll use 2 toonies and a loonie, but remember for this question, we want to use the fewest number of things possible. So a $5 bill, that's just one thing, rather than using 2 toonies and a loonie, which is 3 different things. So we've now figured out the change. So if we kind of want to total up what this would be, we're going to have that's $5, $6, and then we've got 25, 30, 40 cents. So that's $6.40 is our total change that we would get back from the cashier. And this is the what we would want. These are the different coins and bills we would want to get the least number back. Okay, so for our next question here, you buy a smartphone for $157.07 and you give the cashier $160. What change would you get back? Use the fewest number of bills and coins possible. So our first step is to just round this to the nearest nickel. So that would be 157.05. In this case, we would round down. And now we want to write down kind of what we're starting with here. So the 157.05. And because we're giving the cashier 160, when we're counting up to make change, that's where we need to get to is 160. So now we'll use the coins from the top and figure out what to do. So I notice I've got 5 cents kind of at the end of my number here in the 157.05. So the most convenient thing to get to would be to get to that 25-cent mark, because then we could start using quarters rather than a bunch of dimes and a bunch of nickels. So I'm going to try my best to get to 25. So I know if I have 2 dimes, now my number on the left bumps up and it goes to 157.25. So I know anytime I have 25 cents, if I want to get to the next dollar, I just need 3 quarters. So 2. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab this last quarter. Okay, so now we're at an even $158. So to get that to that 160, I just need a toonie. 2 more dollars will get me there. Okay, so now I'm going to want to total up my my change here just to see how much it was that I got back. So I know I've got the $2.75 and then 85.95 cents. So my total change is $2.95, and this is the fewest amount of coins I could have used to get it back.